matter whether you're in a jurisdiction with 30,000 police officers on the force or in a jurisdiction with 3 police officers on the force, you could stumble across a human trafficking case.
It's very easy to see a picture, even a photograph, and you immediately think you know what's happening in that scenario. But when you start to ask, why are you here? When do you go home? Do you have a debt? All of a sudden, the picture pans out in panoramic view.
We were dispatched to a disturbance. When we arrived, it was a little bit chaotic. It took quite a bit of time on scene of the initial call to actually figure out what was going on.
You may not realize what you have. You may not completely understand what you have, but document it and start looking for help.
Their captors had come and was threatening if they didn't pay $5,000 per person that they would kill the family and burn down the house.
Every patrolman should have a camera. Take pictures of people, take pictures of scenes, take pictures of vehicles. Be as detailed as possible with your pen and with your camera.
I don't even think I did anything that big. I just did a report. I just did my job.
I'd urge everybody to call their federal partners very early in the process, whether it's an FBI agent or an ICE agent that you have a relationship, or whether you call us at the Civil Rights Division for assistance. We can actually be a force multiplier for what you're finding on the ground.
I was seeking help. I was wanting help, but I didn't think anyone can help me.
Our primary concern is officer safety and the safety of others. If it means going in fast and hard in order to make sure that everybody is safe, we will do that. You know, if we can attack it from a different way that isn't as traumatic, we would definitely explore those avenues.
We've had cases where victims have actually smuggled notes out saying, please have someone come and help me. And then if the police show up too aggressively, they'll withdraw and never tell their story.
Do what you need to do. Remove them from that situation. Get to an area where you can come down on a one-on-one level with them. You can't get on a personal level with somebody in full battle gear.
Each of those individuals must be approached as a possible potential trafficking victim. Every one of them.
We've had officers take videotapes of the brothels they've raided. The psychological and physical trauma on these young women and girls is tremendous.
We want victims to feel that they can come to us and that they won't be violated twice.
This is a crime like no other. This is a crime that your evidence is a human being. So by taking care of the victim needs, you're really taking care of your investigation.
When victims of trafficking are found and rescued, all of their needs need to be addressed almost simultaneously. It's almost like a cascade. Housing, mental health issues, health care.
Until we can really come in and listen sensitively and address her issues, her immediate concerns for her own health and safety, she's not going to be in a position to confide.
Cooperating with law enforcement, they said we will take care of your safety. Everything they promised to me was true. I felt comfortable. I believe in them. I trust them.
That is why we rely so heavily on the NGOs to come in as quickly as possible and try to meet her immediate concerns.
What we do to help law enforcement is to create a stable environment for victims, to help them get to a place mentally and emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, where they are a good witness.
At the end of the day, these are people who have to be approached with respect, with dignity, and really try to get to the bottom of what it was that happened to them. The number one rule about interviewing a trafficking victim is to put them at ease.
Don't get up too close or touch them. Try to get them to relax and make them feel that they're safe, you're not going to hurt them.
Some of the questions we'd ask were, what did you do in the country you're from? Are you getting paid? Are you able to keep your pay?
Do you have control over your identification?
Do you have control over your own housing? Are you free to leave? If it's an argument over a debt, ask what the debt is about. What was it for?
Leave the immigration questions until you've built up a rapport already with them. If you ask them straight away, you're not going to get any good information.
Many times they think that because they're not citizens, they're not entitled to the full protection of the United States' laws. We need to tell them that if you're on the soil of the United States of America, you're fully protected by our laws and our Constitution.
You may say something like, I'm a police officer, I'm here to protect any individual in the community. So we're going to look into what happened to you and we're going to try to find you help.
Even those that open up, they won't tell you everything. They'll give you a little bit. And then maybe in a second interview or a third interview a little bit more.
Be sure you're asking it in a situation where the person's able to talk freely and there's not people around. Use an interpreter who's not someone who's right there on the work site or the housing place that you went to.
Please, 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 for the officers, don't allow the employer be a translator for this person.
There was a significant reluctance on their part to even tell us what happened and why it happened. It wasn't until the translators arrived till they told us, well, they live together in this apartment and there's a whole bunch of people that live at this apartment, and we were asking, why is that so? And then they were the ones who kind of uncovered it for us that, well, they were brought over here to work for this person in this restaurant to pay off a fee. It just broke it wide open.
The key to a successful approach is finding the right personality that can establish the rapport with the potential victim. If you do not succeed, allow the NGOs and social service organizations to have an attempt to interview before you take any attempts to deport.
If you care about the victims, it will show. If you're just doing the job, it's going to show too.
These cases take a lot of man hours. It takes a lot of sweat and tears. The end result is worth the sweat.
I don't know who was the person who tipped the police, but with all my heart I thank to the person who did it.
The following are key points from this segment. Human trafficking may come to your attention when investigating crimes such as racketeering, extortion, kidnapping, zoning violations, money laundering, domestic violence, sexual assault, or homicide. When interviewing those involved in a potential trafficking situation, use a professional, independent interpreter. Try to put the victim at ease and allow the victim to tell her story. Leave immigration questions until you've built a rapport. And be prepared to conduct victim interviews over multiple sessions. It will take time to get the complete story. For more information, please refer to IACP's guidebook, The Crime of Human Trafficking, a law enforcement guide to identification and investigation. Or contact the IACP at 1-800-THE-IACP or on the web at www.theiacp.org.